Yeah, this is crazy, man. It's like the copper cart, right? Like the Barris thing with the way this rolls out.
A lot of people have said that, and I actually don't notice that one.
know-
Like I say, it was Starlight Customs is what I always
Okay.
pretty sure is what I seen in a magazine.
So I see you got Manitoba license plates, but you're way off the freeway, man. Like, how did you even end up out here?
Yeah, it's way out. It's kind of an interesting drive in.
I don't know. So this green truck just showed up in our yard, and I don't know who these people are, but they're a long way from home. I'll tell you what.
Long way from home.
Huh? It's a cool truck. I'll tell you what.
Yes, it's an interesting road down here.
The last 4 miles are my favorite.
Luckily, I can top her out, and we can.
Yeah. No, when you mentioned you were coming out, I figured, well, are you on air suspension or just?
Yeah, no, it's on air.
Okay, so yeah, you're cool.
We can flatten.
We've
it
had
right
some
out.
other low cars come out and get a little stuck, but you got no problem.
No, doesn't go much higher, but it's pretty much there.
Cool.
Gotta watch your feet.
Right on. I like your choice of rims, man. It's right in line with what I like. Cool stuff. And you said this was on a Caprice chassis?
Yeah.
So it's a car in disguise as a pickup truck. I like it.
We've had to shorten it, narrowed it. I didn't like the length of it, so I shortened it some more.
Yeah, no, the proportions are on, man. It looks great.
This one's
super cool.
yeah. It's got all the bits. The top does come off, and we can stick that into the bed.
Yeah, super cool.
Talking about the color, it's so beautiful.
Yeah,
It's like if a mint and a lime had a baby.
Uh-huh.
It's
I know. I'd like to taste the candy that's this color. It's cool. Well, right on, man. This is looking good. I'm glad you made it out. Only about, what, 25 hours from home?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like that.
We're taking our time getting home.
30 hours from home. What's the back glass? Did you make that, or is it from some other soft
This-
top?
This is, I don't know, this is made out of a Buick hood, a trunk lid, a couple other things. Kind of just
Shapes.
glued it all together.
I like it.
Then we padded it. I figured out how to upholster it. Did it wrong numerous times.
Yeah.
that was a fun arts and
It's-
crafts project for you.
It's still
Remember that.
it's still not good, but it works. I'm
Sounds
pretty-
like a lot of stuff I make. You came to the right place. It's just good enough for what you want. Yeah, I like how the bed follows the cab wall too. Because
Yeah, we
like
snapped-
straight.
Snap that. There's like all of our luggage and junk back there,
Yeah,
but
this
cool.
is kind of messy right now.
this is the way this goes. The top pops back like this,
Right.
and then
Plenty
you
of
can the roof will pop off and actually fits in the back.
Oh, that's cool. So you can drive a convertible too. Nice. Yeah, you got plenty of room for activities back here. That's cool.
Not so much when the roof's in it, but
Right. Cool deal. And everything about the running gear is just Chevy, small
Yeah.
block V8.
Yeah.
Super cool.
I can show you. Yeah, just a simple small block, all that jazz.
Right.
You can see how we stitched the roof together because I didn't finish anything in there.
That's kind of how my stuff looks from underneath too.
Works in progress.
Wide open.
So it's got that. It's got a Pontiac dash.
Cool.
How did I do?
Ooh, it's
I
convertible.
Yeah.
I lowered the truck to give it the illusion that it's section, but all I did is I raised the fenders. You can
Yeah, I
tell.
was looking at the vents right there. I
Yeah,
saw
there's the
something
fenders
going
tops
on.
are supposed to be down there. So then I added onto the fenders. And then I took
Cool.
out like
Right.
I don't even know, a huge amount from the
Makes
hood.
the hood look pancaked. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Cool
then the
deal.
front's like, I think the front and back bumpers are, I think they're both 59 Buick.
Cool.
And then for a motor and stuff, you got.
I was expecting it to open up the other way.
Yeah. I couldn't get hinges to work, so I had to come up with an idea
Oh,
though.
because you changed all that business.
So there was, I guess, some of the Buick cars, they would have this kind of a
Yeah.
hood that
Yeah.
guys
Some
would
of them
use.
clamshell. There's all kinds of weird stuff going on.
Or you can buy kits, but they're all really expensive. So
Easy enough.
I decided to just make my own thing.
Heck yeah. Nice.
Super simple, works.
Maybe someday we'll have a car we can drive out to a car show. We got this nice Zephyr. It's just all in
there.
pieces. We've never had a car to take to any shows.
No.
We just build them and send them away. Right on. Well, enough with the gabbing. I want to do some work. How do you feel about that?
That's what I'm down for.
Heck yeah.
I'm always down for a working holiday.
Well, this is full custom Brent, and I'm half-ass Ian. And you're watching. Yeah. This is Brent from...
Half-ass
I
Customs.
keep saying jackass. This is Brent. This is Brent from Half-Ass Customs. We are in the desert for a little work and relaxation at the same time.
I'm okay with that, honestly.
Yeah.
Well,
No, because I was working on this other thing. You know how okay, so a Ford and a Cadillac, right, makes a Fordillac. So I was saying that you would be half-ass custom. So you would be half full Brent or half full customs, and I'd be full ass Ian. Right? Does that add up? Oh, here's my glasses.
absolutely not.
Yeah, I was scrolling through the YouTubes and I saw Half-Ass Customs, and he was doing a Model A project where he used 2 link arms. It was a 2-link with a leaf spring, so we have a little different idea in how we're going to suspend this, but same thing. 2 parallel links coming back, and it's going to hold the axle. The only difference between your project and this one is it's got to be heavy duty. It's got to pull a trailer, and potentially whatever happens in the bed. You know, this thing is heavy duty, 10 lug rear axle, big airplane parts. So we got to come up with some heavy structure to link that axle to the chassis.
So what's the idea? Like a full 2-link?
So I'm going to have a panhard rod back here somewhere. There'll be some 3rd link this way. But these 2 are going to be just like what your Model A showed, a hard, whatever drop to grab that. And then we're going to attach it to this
Somewhere?
Year. Yeah. If you look at the other side, I was thinking about stuff. See that large plate there? I was thinking we could drop just to say, right? Let me pull this out. So that's going to be its orientation, right, on the axle.
Okay.
And then we have this. That will be the pin to go through here. You dig? We can make 2 of those. So I was thinking, with that heavy plate, we can weld to this. It's a nice flat shape. What if we came straight down and we made 2 large holes in it where that pin could drive through, so it would just be a shape in here, like an L shape.
Okay. Are we going to have a link coming up? How are you going
I
to...
was thinking about that one.
Okay. I was wondering about that.
That way the axle won't wrap.
Yeah. And you can adjust your pinion angle if you
One
want.
of our viewers said, take that thing, try to bring it around to this side, and make that so you could change the pinion angle, and it would stop axle wrap. Yeah. That way that could just be a float. Technically could pivot if that was loose.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't have to when it's done because it'll...
Right. It'll be locked in with, a bolt and some washers.
And judging, how much travel are you hoping to have in the back there?
That's what's going to find out. I don't know. So I got these massive airbags, right? So they could support whatever weight we have on the trailer.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, once we get this in the kind of the mid-range of its ride height, maybe this will be up 3 or 4 inches. Not a lot of rear suspension, but we could just lock that in place and then set the pinion angle.
That's what I was worried about is you're going to have a lot of movement with the pinion.
A lot.
Because if these are that long, I'm just wondering where...
I know, it's going to mess with the length of the drive shaft. That's why I see the sleeve right there.
Yeah.
I'm going to have something. This is the old drive shaft, so it's going to have this much travel. And if I need to have this machined, I know a guy.
Yeah.
We can make this a slip joint so the whole drive shaft can extend. But while it's driving, it's not going to be like hitting the switches or anything where the drive shaft's going to be doing that.
No.
So it should be
It's pretty long.
much...
You're being kind of conservative with your... You're not trying to bellow it and kind of...
Yeah, no. So you get to a place where you want to drop it. Okay,
Yeah.
so you just drop it, and that's it. Maybe you're rolling slow, but that whole thing is, if this thing's on the freeway, I want those U-joint angles pretty much, at a decent arrangement. So that's
These are...
front and
right there.
rear. But so right now that drive shaft is solid. That thing is going to pull itself apart should this want to get longer as it travels. So it's going to need a good slip in there. But for right now, 1 step at a time. I got a floor jack, so we could raise the chassis up a bit if we need to. But I think the first thing to start with would just try to create these mounts, huh?
I think the mounts, these are pretty long. Like if we have to get that steering box off too?
That is going to disappear. Yeah, that steering box is not. When I was looking at it, I got a couple floor jacks. So
But you're going to go lower underneath it anyways.
Yeah. So this is so bulky, we're gonna take this off. And I was thinking we can come out because it's gotta clear this.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's gonna mount somewhere in here. So I have some tube. See the way these are set up? This goes through and this one does fit. Marty checked it. But those 3 bolts, we're gonna put an end cap on that with this bolt pattern. So this is gonna have to sit off of this somehow. And I have this tube here. Rest of the drive shaft. I was thinking if we had to make like a little outrigger, we could attach the the high mount here, gusset it into the chassis. I mean, there's going to be a significant amount of forward and backwards load.
I think
on
if
it.
you end up capping over, then you'll have just more than enough.
Yeah.
Like double shearing it, I guess would be the right.
Right, just put a bunch of gussets, and there's could be some trap nuts in the plate here, so this thing just bolts onto it and it threads in. It's kind of a lot of technical stuff, but
Wow.
I was thinking at first if we started back there.
First things first.
Right.
You asked me to come do some work.
Just as a general layout of things, I think you think that'll fly. I mean, it's your standard 2-link, just like you're doing on your car, right?
Pretty much. I wonder if this is even a part, or does this come off?
It looks like it's bolted on.
Yeah.
So I was thinking if this diameter doesn't fit back there, we'll just make a steel strap.
Yeah, well, you can just make 2
And we'll
ears.
just use this.
is
I have a
really-
bunch of these links too.
Yeah, yeah.
So we just use that as a model. I have like 10 of these back in the shop. So, I mean, I was thinking, I don't know if I even have a wrench that fits this.
Yeah, I don't know if that would. Well, I
it's all
guess.
bent. You have to get a new heim joint anyway.
I mean, it doesn't move. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
But if you have to make 2 ears, not going to hurt anything.
Yeah, I don't know if this diameter is the same over there, but I was thinking we'll just cut this off.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll run a disc right through here, just get rid of that. And then we'll start building.
Sounds like a plan.
Let me get 2 floor jacks. So I did this, I mocked it up for me once. There's a floor jack right behind you there, that larger one.
Okay.
Put that under the axle and we'll rest this on there. And I'll do this with the front. And we come up with a measurement on like how much we want to drop that. See, this is what I was saying, that's the only thing that's kind of going to interfere. It's right there.
Yeah, eh? Golly.
So raise your jack up. And the whole thing, it's like,
Well, you got to imagine this is your aired out version of it.
right, so you're fully down right now. So I don't mind if this is raised up a little
Yeah.
bit.
Because you kind of
Yeah.
want them parallel.
Let's see, it's just like, well,
It's whacked. It's huge.
heavy duty.
It is what it is.
It's from a jumbo jet. So see, that's right there is where we're going to interfere. So I don't have a problem bringing this out to this distance. That's okay by me.
But the tube's not going to hurt anything if you had to notch it.
And I don't mind taking some of this off either.
Yeah, there's so much bulk on here that I don't think that it's going to matter if you had to go.
But again, this is the fully lowered position, right?
Yeah, yeah. But even up.
So to get this to hit to here, this wants to come way up.
Did they have a bigger one? Like that might have
Yeah.
been easier.
I could ask him. Yeah, Marty said these things, when they warm up, they're going to stay in place. Put a hammer on there. So is that, does it have to go rearward to drop like straight down?
Do you want to go there or do you want to go?
I was
It would be
hoping
better if
that
it was under it.
we could go under. I don't see that being a problem, do you?
No. I just don't know. Then you can use you can almost mount straight off of here. Oop. Does that help anything? I don't know, but
I don't know. It's rotating. Yeah. That would be a lot less. That'll be a lot less steel under there. Here, push that jack in. I'll try to put this back under it.
it's so light.
Come forward. Yeah, an engine hoist would be nice to just hold that up.
I'll roll that back a wee bit. I just wonder if it's that under. Although I gotta wonder how you're gonna hold that pin.
There'll just be a small bolt, but the pin can enter through this inside, right?
How are you gonna lock it?
I like your idea for that. Yeah,
Because then the upper link can just be wherever.
Yep.
Doesn't really matter.
that works. Almost too easy. That totally works because it's flat on the bottom. Yeah.
I just made a lot of things I just look at, like servicing, like as long as you can get at the bolts, whatever's there.
You don't need
Is your mount going to go in the middle?
Break.
Is it that the idea?
What's that?
Your plate that you want to do is going to be in the middle of
It's
it?
going to be inside here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we could bring that. You bring that right up to. Ooh, it's going to fall again. You bring that right up to there.
I'd probably go lower, just so you have for twist.
Well,
Get imagine if you're doing something, could be a lot of torque on there.
There's going to be a lot of torque. So you're saying you want them spread out?
Yeah, you'd want them a little down. I'm just a big thing under the scrub line stuff is just me, but
Yeah, no, below the rim, right?
yeah, as long as we're above that.
Yeah, it's close. Try to pick up on that big tube again. I'm going to slide this jack forward so we don't lose it. Move it down right there. Cool. Yeah, I just don't want to lose it. Cool. Yeah. Let's put the jack onto the front. See what that angle is. Super duty.
Now I see why you're having to help you with this.
Yeah. No, I did a little wrestling match myself. So see, just for my like visual, like aesthetics, if we could get this kind of on this point, you know what I mean? You wouldn't have like a big outrigger dropping down, even though we're going to have to do that with the front.
Yeah, I know. Wowzer.
I don't know. You want to drop that rear a little bit?
I would think.
Because we're going to want some adjustment, you know, if it twists.
I
for the
want
pinion
to be able
angle.
to get at things to fix if a guy had to.
Yeah, so up a little. Yeah, because like looking at, again, you're talking about the scrub angle, right?
Yeah.
You got.
I don't know. Like, as long as a guy can get at the bolts is more
Yeah.
my...
All right, and that's pretty much it. And then with this, see, we're still a little bit low here to tag directly onto that.
You can go in. I'd like to... It'd be nice to keep them parallel, seeing how you're putting a panhard in there anyways.
So that is hitting right there. So that's just going to make that angle drop down more.
But this is your aired out. As long as you air up and get your pinion set at your ride, you're going to have extreme pinion angle problems anyways, but
You ain't
no
kidding.
matter what.
Unless,
You have to just find a happy
unless we
compromise.
put a hydraulic ram right here. And each time it raises, that thing synchronizes the pinion angle.
I'm still like finding what a pinion is.
So it's basically your pinion angle is off the differential where this is. This is what they call your pinion. So as you're lifting and going, it's going to change. And what happens if they're not lined up, you'll get a weird vibration.
It's what we just did with the 4-link and the Zephyr. Jamie, remember we did that little experiment?
So that's what we're trying to make sure that when this goes up, it doesn't do something really weird.
Right.
But it's so small, you're going to have a lot of extreme things to work through.
I know, that's the problem, the mini drive shaft. But I don't want the wheelbase any longer. That's the thing. I mean, look at
Yeah.
the wheelbase on this thing. That's why I want this up as high as possible. Because going over, you know,
Yeah.
a driveway or a speed bump, this is going to hang up.
Because you got a long way between your wheels, so it's just easier.
Yeah.
It was like the restaurant last night. We went in the wrong approach.
Uh-huh. You get all twisted. So see, that'll bring the mounting point right to there.
So is your pin only long enough to do whatever? Not really long enough?
Yeah, we'll have to build this out.
Yeah.
Well, maybe if you
But
I'm not saying it's
doing the back, why don't we just make that rear piece first?
Yeah.
Because I could do some hole sawing. I got a 2.5 inch. I got the hole saw that fits that pin. So yeah, if we were to drop down inside, you know, 8 inches. Do you use a metric?
Nope.
Good. We have that in common. 'Cause we get a lot of people from.
I'm in
Europe.
miles.
I like it.
That was a good question, though.
Yeah, I was just thinking. So if we drop 7.5, you make it 7.5 drop by say, I don't know, 3.5. That way there's a little wiggle room.
So you're going to cut that plate in half? Is that the idea? Or?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna try to use that, or maybe just do like a, you know, like that.
Do you have box tubing by chance? No. Nothing like
Not
that.
that big.
No.
Oh wait, no, I used it up on the frame. Yeah, box tube would be perfect, wouldn't it? 3.5. I don't know. Look around. I doubt it. Nope. No, and this tube was 3. There's none of that left over.
Well, it's
That
beefy enough.
Yeah, no, that would work. Yeah, so let's make it set. We'll make a box tube out of that.
No matter. Pin will be in it.
All right. We'll drop down 7.5, and we'll take this much because we want 3.5, right?
Yeah.
So we'll take this much, and then we'll take the other one. We'll flip it around. We'll drill straight through. There'll be a box that goes down.
Because you could cap them both and buzz both sides, and at least
Yeah.
it's doubled up.
So we'll make it 3.5, like so. But because we got a 1/4-inch wall, we'll do 3 1/4.
It's okay. It's no big deal. It's just hard what you're doing. I mean, some stuff
That
could be
was
just
annoying.
time lapse,
We want 7.5 down.
which is fine.
Yeah, we don't have any of those fancy laser cutters like you do, so we're gonna do this the old-fashioned way.
Zip cut?
Yep.
Mint.
So let's start by making 2 of these guys, and then we're gonna put a hole in one end, so that big pin will slide through. So, you want to start cutting, or you want me to start cutting? Because I'm gonna set up a drill with that pin.
Okay, I can start slice and dice.
Yeah, I got a corded cutting wheel too. So I'm gonna start drilling the holes here. I got the hole saw, but we can match
I'm gonna
it
cut
off
that one.
Yeah, and then we need 2 more. We need 4 total.
Okay,
Yeah. And I got markers here if you need them.
perfect.
Start drilling. On a lot of aerospace stuff, they use titanium hardware, and that's why you had all those white sparks flying out of there. Like when the lowriders drop on the pavement, you'll see white sparks from titanium. Doing work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if there's a little wiggle in there, I don't care. That thing is just so beefy. You know, I'm gonna get a solid center to put in there too. That tube is just a holder.
Wiggle room. That's what we want. Making wiggle room?
Yeah, exactly. Making it happen. So I got that piece cut off. We got a little more room. And then if you got that piece set up, I think we should just drive that pin through this whole assembly and then weld it when it's ready to go in. How do you feel about that?
You don't ever want it to come apart?
It's never coming apart. That's exactly right.
I, for some reason, feel things need to be serviced, but I don't know why.
I've noticed that
I think if that comes apart, that's going to
he is
get
the
cut
opposite.
apart. No,
He's like, it's fine. We'll figure out a way to
that's a one-time deal.
See, that's how I used to do it on the farm.
Yeah, right. This is a field repair.
That's future Ian's problem.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So you want to roll this thing back a little bit and we'll assemble it and then slide it under?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to just drop this on the ground. And then we'll slide it back on the jack.
All right.
You want to roll that jack?
Cool. That should be good.
I think if we're on the same page, you know where we're going, right? I got a brass hammer also. If we don't...
I wouldn't weld it till after.
Right. We're going to put
gotta-
everything in.
If you're putting that together.
So that'll go in first. And don't worry about that end because we're going to cut that right off. It's going to be tight. Marty told me. He said hammer it.
Do you want to weld that together first?
Well, it's all going to get trapped. Maybe I should just try to open this hole up. Just try to set that in there. See where it goes. I saw him put that other piece in. It's close. It's going. Yeah. No, it's moving. Yep. It's going. You're halfway there. Let's try the bigger hammer. That's always the answer, right? I use that big club to take that thing out. That did it. Yep. Cool. All right, hold it. So this one, yeah, it's gonna go together like that. Cool, hit it. Send it. Yep. I might have to just go out and get a bigger fucking hammer. No, I still got
I
plenty
just want to
of
make
room.
sure that we don't.
Yeah, that doesn't get locked in.
That one will go. Yeah, we'll hold it. It's fine. I'm not too worried.
1 inch to
Hope
go.
you
You want
don't.
me to clobber it? You good?
Maybe.
Yeah.
She's getting a little jello-y.
I'm telling you. That's why I was like, I know what you're setting up for, man.
Why would that?
I know what you're setting up for. Ready?
You keep going.
You see
You're
it?
almost there.
Well, there it is. I'll just cut that off with the disc. We'll use that for the other side. Well, this looks good. I'll just cut that off, and then we'll tack it in place here and set it up.
Can you actually
under-
get, like, my fear is just, can you get a good weld on everything? That's the...
good weld? Good weld
That's why I was
relative,
like,
I
should we
think.
weld that before we do that?
That's the
'Cause
problem
you-
with being a TV builder.
Now, you might be able to kick it back and roll the bottom
Yeah.
a little bit, that you can lay it down and weld it.
Yeah, we'll do that.
I just don't know, because you know how this one's got to tuck in.
Right. No,
Will
just
this one
tack it
roll
like-
back as it sits?
That one will far, yeah, but that one gets stuck.
So do we just quickly do that while nobody's watching the TV magic?
I don't know, you got a camera right behind you.
Right over.
camera right behind you. No, I think if we weld this, tack, and we'll just get what we can. We'll reach in with the torch. Because this is going to be welded, and something's going to come up the backside right onto the axle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah, I'll cut that off right now. And then last, a bolt and a solid shank go right through it. That ain't going nowhere.
I may as well do something if it's working.
Yeah, you want to weld it? You want me to weld it? You can weld it.
Oh, yeah, Adder. You know your welder.
All right.
That's how I roll. I used to have one like that, and I never really loved it.
Join the club. I complain about this thing all the time.
Really?
You have a Miller?
No, I
Yeah.
have HTP, US Weld.
Oh, okay.
You know what I learned with mine when I had it? I treated it like flux, like a flux.
Huh.
Set your wire speed slower than you want,
It has a different
and then
arc.
and then it doesn't, because it fluctuates and
Yep.
it does that auto correct thing. So
I
when I
had
did
that turned off, but yeah, I agree.
if you set your wire speed a little bit slower, then I found that thing.
Yeah, I tend to run this slow. People say speed up your wire. I'm like, no.
Only
not with this
overhead is what I
machine.
do, but then I put it where it should be, and then I feel this welder, because it does a little speckle, and then it like,
Yeah, you'll hear when I start. It's always.
What is the plan? A tic-tac this here, or what?
Yeah, we're gonna tack it there. Then we'll swivel it as much as we can. Yeah, I never intended to weld to that pin because should we want to service it, but we'll reach in there as much as we can. Yeah.
That's funny. You never talked about servicing.
Service? What? Put that thing on the road. We gotta go. We got a reveal to do. It's always we would drive those cars to the TV show with no wires, no brakes, just run it.
I'm here
Use
for the
the
first
squint-
tack.
squint
Then
to
he's,
turn.
then he's on his own.
Yeah. So can we just spread them out so it grips like that? Oh, that's it, huh?
What do you want?
It's on, just that they're on the brass, huh?
Yeah.
I'm seeing a gap though.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, let's try to pin that. There it is.
There?
Yeah, it's just set.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Right. Nice little fill everywhere.
Yeah, right. Just send it. Ready? Welding.
Oh, you tack like I do.
Fill it up.
Do it.
I'm gonna hit this full strength. All right, that's good enough for.
Thought about how you're doing your pan hard, or
What's that?
have you thought about how you're doing your pan hard?
Okay. Not really. If anything, I might do a triangle. Might do a third link like that right to the center. Because I don't like when they're really short, but this doesn't have a lot of suspension anyway.
Yeah.
Nah, man, we think of things as it comes up. Pre-planning? Yeah, so we could roll that forward. Definitely get gloves because that sucker's hot. Yeah, if you want to push that floor jack, I'll get this in gear. And we'll set it right under the axle. You say when.
All right.
Hold it.
I think I gotta go.
Ready? Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I'll tap that with the hammer. What's that?
Nah, I think we gotta get it tilted back some more.
Yeah, here. That's where I was heading. Tilt it.
I think we just set that on the jack better. Let your jack down a bit. Square it up. There you go.
Let me put a block on this because now we're all different. I got an aluminum block right here. If you could just hold that up for 1 sec, I'll put this block under, then we're
Not
square. We gotta tilt it back. Cool. Yeah, let me just, we're gonna have to swivel that front. So how's this look? Is that, oh, we gotta come forward, huh?
Yeah, I don't know where we're at there.
Because I'd rather have the back flush. So hammer that back. Hammer rearward. Yeah, right. A little more. Right there. Yeah, that's it. It just fell right in.
No, I think it's just gotta.
It's got to twist this way.
Well, what if we put the jack under the front there? We might just get it to naturally do it.
Yeah. I'm wedging on
You
something.
want it right under the nose?
I'm going to get a bar. We're going to put it in there and try to twist that thing. Try to give this just a little twist.
We need there. I can do that.
Yeah, right there. See?
Oh, okay.
That did it right there. So that's good. But I want to move that as close to the brake drum, the brake rotor as possible.
Okay.
You know, let's hammer it. Let's hammer that as
Give it a
close
little,
out.
little scooch.
Yeah, because even if we're not 100% on the inside, I want that. I want this angle. Yeah, right there.
Probably want to go forward.
Right.
I think the back, if you line it up.
We want to get enough just for a nut right there. Yeah, that'll work. I like that. How's this extra straight shot to put a brace down? Is that okay?
We should straight edge it. I guess I don't really have anything to straight edge it to.
Yeah, well, that's, I mean, as long as it's within reason.
Well, as long as you're happy with it. That's
Lower that jack a little because something's binding, and I'll just put a twist on it, and then we'll tack it. Yeah, see right there. Okay, raise it up.
I think
Pin it
so.
right there. Cool.
There. I'll
Can
hold
you-
that.
Yeah, if you hold that, we'll get a tack on it.
As long as you're happy with it.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. No, this will work because we'll get a weld in there. Yeah. That'll totally work.
You'll have some interesting fill on this side.
What's that?
You'll have some interesting something on this side.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do something that just comes in and attaches it all. I'm gonna grab that axle 100%. But I'll just hit it right here first. Yeah, it always start.
It always does that.
Always does that.
Here's my only fear with everything getting kind of locked in.
Yeah.
Are you concerned about having to get at any of this to, like, say you have to clearance this or do this? Can you get this off in a way that you can actually,
Well, when this raises, you know, the chassis will raise up.
so you can, but
Yeah.
this, will this come off or is that going to be almost?
No,
a-
that will come off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just so you're not going to hate
Yeah.
life trying to struggle
No,
around.
this eventually can just drop straight down. That's the idea of this being hinged. That could drop down just a little bit because you get that bolt out. Yeah.
Even between you and I, we're never going to take that apart, but you know, you could drive that pin out if you had to.
Oh, it'd be a. If you take that tire off, yeah, just a
I'm just
big
saying.
old.
People are going to question the way things are
Yeah.
going. So
No, you get a big enough pneumatic impact on that, you'll get that thing out.
So the second reason why I was
Yeah.
asking was, can that? Yeah, that's all.
Well, right, but this chassis will never come apart.
Yeah,
it's already trapped basically. These
Yep.
are going to get bolted in. So
Yeah, you just know how tight this is right
Yeah.
now. So
that's all that gusset's going to get cut out. Yeah.
like this is staying in. You could lose this, I guess, the
I was just
outside of
gonna
it.
cut this outside
Yeah.
off. So that much trim, that's a full drop. It's only going to get more distance. Yeah, and then this, just thinking, our height.
I just wondering, can you get it in tighter? Do you care? Do you want it in tighter?
No.
Do you
No, it's going to be
You
fuel
pretty
tanks.
much
There's going to
can't-
be stuff that covers this.
pretty much can't anymore?
Yeah.
But
No. No, I think at this point, let's measure the axle, see if it got forward or backwards, because that's going to be committed. There's no wheelbase adjustment on this Yeah, let me get a bigger tape. Let's just check that axle is same side to side. Yeah.
It will reveal it.
22.
hey,
What's up, guys?
Yeah, so it's a little bit off. So 23 to the inside. 20. It's a ½ inch out. It's gotta go.
you can hop in there, Esther. Jump on the other side or somewhere. I don't know
So
where
we're
my
a
camera is.
1/4 inch. Cool. So I was just measuring these tires. Looks like the chassis got to move just a 1/4 inch. Just a little bit. There it is, right there. So we were centered. And then we want to measure the wheelbase. It's going just on the inside of that stripe on the tire.
Here?
Yeah. So now we're at 22 3/4, right? Bang.
That's why I asked to be on the stupid side. We're good.
To that? Yeah. No, now we're even. Okay. So wheelbase, we don't have a lot to measure from, so I was just considering these body mounts to be enough. Just go right to the face of that axle. Got an even 5 feet there. It's got to come forward. Kick that tire forward ½ inch. That's why that block is there.
Yep.
The back a little. Okay. Measure. Look forward more.
More?
1/4 inch. Okay, hold it, because I'll probably push the other tire back. So now we're at 5 foot 1/8. 5 foot. That's got to come just another smidge forward.
Forward?
Just a little bit.
All right. Hold on. I just got to.
Yeah. That's heavy stuff. There it is, 5 feet. Cool. That's what we want.
Good.
Yeah. So
Check it once and call it.
I don't get too technical. You got that much freaking tire going down the road. 1/8 inch gets up to an inch out there. How close are you gonna get? Yeah, so pretty much like that. So I was thinking, I got this tube. So let's make a standoff. Well, now this is lower. You think we could bring that up? Without, is it binding there? Yeah, we're gonna have to hog that out or set this low. This wants to be down. Let's do that, a full drop.
Well, it's going to do it when you lift your suspension, though.
I know, we're gonna have to get in there with a tool and clear it out. Just so it rotates around that corner. Get in there with an air tool.
Right. And you tacked it like I do, so we can.
Hold it down. Yeah. No, but I could see being able to dig in there with a rotary tool. Get a little.
You want to do it, or you just want to slice it and open it a little?
No, I'm gonna leave that just as is. That's later. That's just so the air suspension works. We're not gonna raise it up. I'm just looking for a measurement here on the height.
Well, do you want to open it right now? Fix that?
No, definitely not. No, not at all. No, this is a theory session. The thing I was kind of fighting with was, the easiest way to hook this together would be to just go right through and do that, but this wants to be lower than that frame rail.
I would still bring it up myself.
But watch the axle. See, it's already binding.
Yeah.
See if we can get. No, it's going. We'll see the axle start to twist as soon as it locks out. Well, maybe we'll get close. Is it hitting yet?
Now it's twisting.
Yeah, I see something hitting the axle. So, just to say.
But if you're going to dig it out, like you say,
no, I'll
don't worry
clearance
about
the
it right
heck out
now.
of that.
Do it after.
Well, look, maybe we can get this. Yeah. That's still a little bit below, but thing if we get this right there, it's 3 inches. You know what I'm saying? Like that could technically be a tube coming right off there. I'd rather do that. So let's cut a piece of this drive shaft tube, 4 5/8.
I think he made some pins, but they're not quite long enough. Or I think you're going to design it so they bolt onto here.
There's going to be hidden bolts, yeah.
So this is,
Yeah, look at that, perfect.
So I'm going to try to make a nice square cut.
Ish, we could fill. We can fill.
Sounds like
Sweet.
a solid plan.
I think it is.
That's
Yeah,
backwards.
give or take. 4 5/8.
Oh, I
You
see
can do
it.
4 3/4 too. It's
I
oh no,
see that.
do it 4 1/2 because we're gonna have that plate on the outside. So 4 1/2, and I'll cut that. I'll cut that plate to match
You want like a straight cut, right?
reasonably because it's just gonna get. You know, we're gonna square it off before we finalize it. As long as you could see what tolerances I work with already. You run a pretty loose ship. Yeah, weld these nuts on the back.
Are you cool with that being that thick, holding everything together?
Yeah, because this is just around the edge. You know, you got this in here. Yeah, that ain't gonna come off.
Versus like, should we be cutting some of the bigger? I like to overbuild stuff, so.
Nah, with this amount of ring around it.
Oh, are you going to do something? You're trying to do something on the other side yet?
So right, so this
Okay.
see, it's bigger. It's gonna be a square. It's gonna be attached like that. It's gonna weld like that.
Oh, not going to just
Yeah.
try to cut it around right away or anything? Later?
No, I'm just gonna slit this right here, and we'll just trim it off later. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, let me cut this.
Like anything
Yeah, and for one side, we're just gonna tack it in place because I know the alignment ain't right. The way that these are bolted in, we're not gonna be able to get a tool behind this tube that these are sitting in.
What's his channel?
Basically, that goes to the frame rail. See, those nuts are gonna be inside. So we're gonna weld the nuts to this plate and release it, put it together, set it in the truck. Made that one count. And then there'll be like a washer that holds it in from the outside as well. That way that thing can come off, so it's serviceable. I always think about that kind of stuff before I start.
I think Brent is good for you in this way. I mean, let's be honest.
I mean, I make my stuff serviceable, but
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it if I have to service a lot of the things. It doesn't work out well for me sometimes. I build them serviceable, and then it's like, it's such a pain to get at and actually service. But
We have a lot of questions about how is he going to do A, B, and C.
How's he gonna fix it?
Kind of like that's why it's funny that like you brought that up, and Ian he keeps on saying that.
How are you gonna fix it? We're gonna throw it in the trash. I made this big monster tea bucket thing. So still out there, but first thing I did with a semi-truck engine. And the guy was like, dude, how are we gonna get the engine out? I was like, the clutch went bad. I was like, I built this thing like a disposable razor, man. It was going to one car show. And then there you went and bought it. I don't know.
I think I know the one too.
Did he ever fix the clutch?
He just had to cut the floor out, yeah. He cut the floor out and dropped the transmission, or brought the transmission up right through the
There
seat.
you go.
Yeah. So if you wouldn't mind, just cut that straight through. Okay. And then, is this the 4 1/2?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll clear this up from the paint. We're ready to tack this on, and that's kind of where we're at.
Turn your wires to be a little lower than you normally would. I would find that once you get past that initial spark.
Yeah. No, I fight with this
So
welding
annoying.
nonstop. Come on, Marty. Hope this thing works. Where's the brass hammer? Because he only fit one up at his shop, and it was in this arm. The other one was really hot from welding.
Hold on.
We got that big aluminum slug on ice, and I'm going to try to just hone out this a little bit with some sandpaper, because Marty's measurements are exact, and the ambient temperature is higher than it was when he machined it, I'm sure. So we're having a slight size discrepancy.
So we're waiting. We need it to fit. It's such a tight fit.
Marty is very exact. Like, what do you say he measures in?
To the 100,000th of an inch, yeah.
He like pulled out.
He's a machinist, right?
That camera.
All right. I'll put the hot one in there and see what that
I've never
looks
seen
like.
it, but all right.
Try number 2. Got a cold aluminum slug. Nada. We're gonna have to cool off.
Tolerance is a little tight.
So I got the one that was in here. It fit. It slipped right in.
Not this one, the other one.
Yeah, so I'll keep working this.
Does the other one fit?
It's on ice now, yeah.
Oh, okay. Just past the sweet
There's a little
spot.
spot, yeah. There's just one little issue right in there, but it's clear now. You felt it. Just
Where did we go?
probably got damaged somewhere when they're disassembling it. Yeah, we're gonna bolt this on.
We'll get that tacked and bolted on, I think. And
Yep. Send that if you want. Need a glove?
oh, this should work.
Yeah, there'll be a retaining washer on that to hold it all together. Yeah, the way he machined them, it should.
They're a little on the tight side.
Here, try. What does that look like? 5/8? 7/16? Yeah. Run them in. It'll never be
I
disassembled.
don't know if that one's ready for the. I don't know if that one's ready for the Ooga Dooga yet.
One and done.
Here, I got a regular wrench. Yeah, so the end result, so this doesn't slip off, there'll be the same kind of retaining cap that'll just keep that in place. So you have, that much articulation. That's plenty.
Yeah.
Cool. Let me put the floor jack. I set this up so it's directional. We got a back and a front. Yeah. That way we'll have gussets coming off later, but I want to set the alignment at the very end of the project. So let's just raise this up, we'll tack it, and then we can just test how the suspension's going to work. We might be able to just get that right on that frame rail. Let's see. All right. Yeah, look at that. Drop it a little bit, right?
Yeah. Let's get that. Oh.
Let's go as low as we can.
Okay. There's a little bit of gap on the bottom if you wanted it fleshy flush.
I would like it down right to the bottom. Yeah.
I think that's probably okay though.
Look at that.
You're a little below it. There. I would do that.
Cool.
I feel if you do a plate, you're
Yeah, let me hit that with a tack.
kind of flush underneath.
Again, that's our only alignment potential right there for wheelbase. So we're going to have to make that 100% after we get the other side made. That look good to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's enough clearance here. It's plenty of room.
Good to go.
Then we'll just build some big structure out just like that to really tie it in.
To truss it.
Truss it. Yeah, where are we grounding?
I learned that.
Right here. Yep. Gotcha. Yeah, that way later, this steering will be out of the way.
Yeah.
Just build something really nice. That'll hold it forever. So grab that plate that I cut apart. See how that's going to work for that pinion angle adjustment.
Oh, yeah.
See if that fits.
So you want to just schneep it on?
I don't know. Is it going to work?
I don't know.
Look at that.
It's kind of neat. I think I would just do 2 eyes and be.
I think that's a little. Here, grab that magnet. See the magnet there? Is this steel? See a little piece, a little button?
This here?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Stick it to that. No.
Yeah.
That's steel.
Yeah.
We can weld to it.
Yeah.
Well, I have some even better trusses I have some better tie rods like that, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah, lay that on just for reference. So what this will do, this will be adjustable so we could modify our pinion angle. And it'll also stop the axle from wrapping when you accelerate or brake.
Right now, there's nothing to stop that because it's on a pivot on the bottom.
And this was one of our viewers' ideas, so heck yeah. I didn't even think about that. He said, take that angle and switch it to the back.
It would bring it up more. I think when everything's straight, you'd probably have a nice little...
So I have some air. Oh no, I can't lift this yet because we're not bolted here. I was going to raise the chassis and see how this worked, but we're not bolted in yet. This is just sitting in place with clamps, so it's all going to come apart. But I don't know.
Looks like more than you started.
Were you expecting to see this? I'm stoked. Well, I don't know what you were expecting when you came in this driveway, but I appreciate your help.
Thanks.
Good to meet you, man.
Yeah. It was just to hang out and do stuff.
Yeah. I love your work. I mean, I've seen it for years and years. I mean, we've been kind of parallel. You said you Viva the same year I went there for the first time. So that's awesome. Finally, we meet in another lifetime.
Yeah.
Because we met, right? Back in the day. But again, that's where we're at. 20 years later. Time flies when you're having fun. True story. So, yeah, thanks for your help. This is Little Jewel. Come on back soon. Anytime, you're welcome.
Right on.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do the other arm next time.
Yeah.
I don't know.